Winter is over, and yet the cold can still be felt in the air. The ever changing weather and its temperature is not really stable between the month of March and April. But that is understandably normal in Europe. During the last few days of snowing, I really enjoyed those moments to reflect on the quietness of that time and to regain new strength and energy for the coming events. It was not long before the snow is slowly disappearing and daylight increased every week. We know that spring is finally here. And so, in the coming celebration of Easter, which marks the season of flowers, life, and rebirth, this is the true joy of life, and we live in dreams that brought forth the vibrant colors of buds, blossoming apple trees, and flourishing flowers of all kinds. And to that, I would say hello to all of my strawberry fairies, pineapple darlings, and happy cupcakes out there. Welcome to my channel, and I am embracing you all. Because of the cold this morning, I have somehow this craving, wanting to eat my childhood porridge, which my mother used to buy back in the days from some Chinese stalls in our hometown. So I prepared this for a couple of hours at dawn and some flatbreads as well. Breakfast was simple and satisfying. But most important is that I spend that time with my boy and we speak of the things we might want to do together. While it is a school holiday, and so I have the time as well on my own. As for today, I definitely going to have my tea and read a book for an hour or two. Now, since the weather is comfortably warm though cloudy, I want to enjoy the few hours time before the rain comes. To speak of tea and coffee, I have an obsession with those things which I cannot really explain. Since I could remember, it was in the days when I was in college. Whenever I'm about to do some reading or writing a journal or do some schoolwork, I have always the need, the least, to have a cup of coffee or tea, or from time to time a mug of hot cocoa to ease my mind. Now, I am not the only one. I noticed that my father has the same pattern of habit to have a drink whenever he works on something, and now I am following somehow this trait of behavior. I feel incomplete without it, as this becomes one of the tools that stimulate my brain while I'm working, and it helps a lot while studying as well. Not so much so about what I eat. It is something that is oddly satisfying while sipping coffee or tea while reading. And if there is a piece of cake that came along with it, then it is just perfect. While having the tea and reading, all of a sudden I have thoughts about those days when I used to have so much time at hand to do many different things I want, and being grateful that I am blessed with times like this with my children. And why do I have such thoughts at the moment? Because every time I spend some time with my boy, this reminds me of the many versions of stories I heard from other people's hopes and regrets when it comes to child rearing, and their absence in their children's lives causes quite a fracture in their relationship. To this, I am so thankful that I am in the position to be able to raise and watch the growth of my children and to be involved both in their studies and activities are precious, brief moments that can never be repeated. There are numerous things in life I would want to put on repeat and try to do better, but life experiences are valuable knowledge that reshapes us to be wiser human beings. I carry with me the great value of life experiences that are worth 1,000 times rather than any gold or richness in this world. The lessons that I gain along the way are the ways of the noble and real tasks that made you what you are today as a good, strong human being. Healthy growth and development are vital for children just as much for everyone else as well. The example of this I have learned much from nature, and in the spring season when life thrives and rise, it shows that we continue to do so in order to understand the meaning of death and rebirth. Just as my cherry tree starts to blossom, I watch this with care and be conscious that this life lesson taught us to be aware and awaken. Moreover, so in some deep and fundamental ways, our spirit shifted and be so much alive. After spending the late afternoon with my boy, just as the weather forecast had predicted there would be rain, after a few days of rain, we had extreme hailstorms as well, and I cannot really do much outside. So, whenever possible, we try to go out to have a walk in the woods or down in the fields to enjoy the fresh air when the weather is fine. And today, the least, we had a good few hours of beautiful mild sun and comfortably warm as well. I was meant to reorganize and rearrange my books. I have been trying to sort out the types of books in chronicle order, but this never came to fruition, as there is always something else coming up in between, and I totally would forget all about it. Again, well, at this minute and without delay, I thoroughly assembled it accordingly as best as I could. But I cannot help to read something in between, as it is quite a bad habit of mine, and forgetting the time while doing so. Good that one of my cats is there to distract me from it, and by the time I was finished, my alarm clock rings to alert me that it is time to prepare dinner. Today I did mincemeat with paprika, tomato sauce, onions, and garlic mixed with herbs of rosemary, oregano, and thyme. Spaghetti noodles are a must when you are cooking mincemeat, and kids love this. One can also do meatballs rather than mince if one wants to. There are several variations of this, and if you are like me, you would prefer the sauce to be spicy. And yes, even my boy loves it to be spicy, and he cannot eat without adding some chilies to anything he eats. I suggest that if you have kids, having spaghetti with mincemeat or meatballs are one of the best meals there is. You should try. After dinner, we are preparing the eggs for Easter tomorrow, Sunday. Today, it is Saturday, also called Easter Virgil. Every year, it is a custom for us to gather some eggs and hard-boil them. The kids had a blast doing this, especially when they are little, and loved coloring. A few years ago, my older children did the same, and now my 9-year-old boy and his 13-year-old sister are the ones that are doing this with me. Just like Christmas, Easter is also another tradition. Some families are still holding on to this, as it is a lovely celebration indeed. Eggs have long symbolized rebirth and renewal. The Christian holiday commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. In Germany, eggs also express friendship. It is said that some people abstain from eating eggs during Lent, and that is why the day before Easter Sunday they would color the eggs. In German, Easter is called Ostern. This is one of those activities that require creativity and fun. For as long as I still have some younger children at home, this is a family tradition that will go on until perhaps one day we shall do it again together when they are older. Many do not do this anymore, and I appreciate this time to do as many different things with the kids before they are getting older and lost interest in doing such things. Finally, it is Easter. I prepared the table and set simple decorations with those eggs, and we had colored yesterday. I won't do much and keep my table uncluttered and simple. There is a hidden meaning, a hidden beauty in life's most ordinary moments, just as this. I really love this. Though we may not see this often, eventually the reality hits you every time you realized how beautiful it was, those moments. Too often we are too busy and blind to such moments that we even forget how to live and why we live. Little moments and small things are reminders of what we are and what we have become along the journey. In this life, we all thrive on the same ambition to share memories, and whatever we do as one, we all came along as a family to be as all. Each is part of the other's life. What is it that we are hoping for but the best for everyone? Be a good listener and be a good learner, to be a constant reminder of how life should be, to be wise. To this, I end my story with compassion and be mindful. Let us meet again soon and let's see what is in store for us tomorrow. Until then, till the next time, do take care and God bless. Happy Easter everyone, and thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and click that notification button. Until the next time, bye bye.